there is outrage tonight over the actions of the owners of a Chinese restaurant that bars admission to non-Chinese clientele from 7 p.m. Kenyans on social media cannot believe that it is possible to face this kind of discrimination in their own country. KTN's Ian Ofula is at this restaurant right now, and we join him live for the Insight. Ian, this story has generated a lot of reactions, especially on social media. What have you picked out from the ground?
Good afternoon, Ben and Linda. Indeed, we are coming to you live from the Chinese restaurant here in Nairobi, where there's a lot of speculation going on, and at this point we cannot confirm everything, but a number of things that I can tell you that I've managed to gather from this particular point is that the owner of this restaurant was today issued with a court order stating that they are operating without a license. And so when we managed to talk to the manager of the restaurant, they said that indeed they do not have a license to operate here, but they are planning to open the restaurant officially on the 1st of April. But then what we were able to also find out is that guests have been coming here to the hotel for, business has been going on as usual. But on confronting the manager, they said that they have been giving free food to their friends, which we found rather not straightforward. Another thing that I can also confirm to you is that the management said that they took over this restaurant from a previous owner, and so that is why they're still trying to get more time to get some of the official documents for them to operate. And then when it comes to the very issue that has raised a lot of concern, that is the admission of Africans or black people to this particular facility. Two press releases had been released in regards to this by the management. The first one was saying that they reached this decision after there was a robbery last year when unknown gunmen, African men, stormed the hotel and stole around 600,000, and this threatened their business. They also confirmed through their press release that this restaurant only mostly admits Chinese nationals who come here, and the hotel is able to facilitate their travel across the country and to certain tourism destination areas. And so the clients here are the Chinese. The clients who sleep at this particular facility are only Chinese, and that is why when it gets to around 5 p.m. they do not admit other people. Well, Linda and Ben, with me right now, I'm joined by Ezekiel Onyango, who used to work here, and I had a few moments to chat with him, and he brings in a rather different perspective. He confirms to us certain things that took place here. Ezekiel, habari yako?
Mzuri sana.
Unaweza kutuambia hii mambo ya kuambia Waafrika wasiingie hapa ni kweli, na pia unaweza ongezea nini nyingine kuhusu jambo hiyo?
Hii mambo ni kweli kwa sababu Afrika wamekuwa wakitutua vibaya na wamekuwa stopped not to enter in the restaurant. And the other thing is that the payment of the workers has been too down. And you see these people per week, they normally get more than 20 million profit, because there are many clients who normally enter in the hotel, in the restaurant. So there's big problem. Many problem has been happening in this restaurant.
Sorry to interrupt, but you had also told me a very interesting point about a couple who came to be attended to here. What can you tell the viewers about this particular incident?
Yeah, the workers, the clients who normally come maybe 2 p.m. are normally stopped not to enter in the restaurant. But you see, when Chinese people enter in the restaurants, they normally allowed to enter. They normally mistreat the Africans, which is not fair. Other people are being chased to go out of the restaurants, and to us and to workers. Okay, I used to work here in something which I have went through. You will feel pity to a customer, a customer, maybe they have come maybe they have come to enjoy themselves, but at the end it's sorrow. So these people should change. Actually, they should change. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben and Linda. What you're hearing there is let me call it a testimony by one of the workers who used to work here. His name is Ezekiel, confirming to us that indeed some of this mistreatment of the Africans was indeed happening. Remember, as at this point, we cannot confirm as to whether this is true, but we are just basing this on the interview we've just had with Ezekiel. Back to you, Linda and Ben in studio.
Ian Ofula, thank you so much. Ian, of course, covering that story that has gotten the attention of Kenyans, especially on social media, that Chinese restaurant that does not admit Africans after 5 p.m.
Rowdy youth broke into the Chinese restaurant in Kilimani that is at the center of a racism realm. Well, the youth vandalized and stole property of an unknown value in the protest against the restaurant's policy of not admitting Africans into their premises after 5 p.m. Well, Fatma Pole has the details.
Angry youth chanting slogans and waving placards condemning racism.
One Kenya, no racism. One Kenya, no racism.
These were the scenes today before things fell apart. They first marched to the Chinese restaurant in Kilimani, mission to vent out their frustrations against the restaurant's policy of not admitting Africans into the restaurant after 5 p.m. And when they arrived, all hell broke loose. The rowdy youth forced themselves into the premises, and when they got in, they immediately started destroying property, some seeing it as an opportunity to loot whatever they could get their hands on.
To condemn this exercise, because as soon as realized, even the Chinese government apologized to Kenyans.
The restaurant's manager, Ms. Zhao Yang, was on Thursday charged before a criminal court in Nairobi with being in the country illegally and operating a business without a permit. Yang denied the charges but is still being detained at the Langata Women's Prison. The Director of Public Prosecutions objected to her release on bail on the grounds that she was a foreigner and had refused to disclose details of her immigration status. Earlier this week, Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero ordered the restaurant to be shut down over defective licensing. It is an issue that has sparked quite a debate among Kenyans, with many questioning how such an establishment has been operating without the government's knowledge. The restaurant's management, however, maintains that their policy was necessary following a robbery in 2013. Fatma Pole, KTN.
It is a go-slow by a group of employees at Chongqing Chinese restaurant along Galana Road in Kilimani area who have left their workstations to decry an injustice they say has gone on for far too long, one they want to give a voice to, even if it comes at a cost. It is allegedly an open secret, at least one shared by this group of employees who say that more often than not, they are forced to relay an unwritten rule here. No African guests are allowed at the restaurant after 5 p.m.
Some of the times when I am serving a client on the table and the order is clear that Africans are not allowed to be in the restaurant past 5, then I'll just have to tell them that you're not allowed in. So they'll ask me, why do you say that? Why didn't you tell us that thing early? What I will do, I'll just try to explain to the customer so that he or she doesn't get that annoyed. But at long last, he or she will have to leave.
It is an allegation that the restaurant's managing director has dismissed through a press statement saying the restaurant is open for all clients who use the facility, but in the evening it is only open for our residents, those who are residing in our hotel. The statement further reads that this may have given the impression that only Chinese are welcome here in the evening. Nothing could be further from the truth. The hotel says the policy was informed by previous robbery, which was a setback, and reinforced the perception that Kenya was a dangerous place to come.
If she's an African and she's accompanied by a European or a Chinese, she can come in.
But even as the allegations of racism continue to be made against the management, it is emerging that the restaurant does not have an operating license. The owner was on Monday accused of operating a restaurant without a license and was bonded for 50,000 shillings. And it seems the management is not only accused of racism by its own employees, but also of exploitation.
Kufika nyumbani nikapigia mama simu, Amwambia mtoto ni mgonjwa, lakini nitakuja nachukua siku 3 siku 4. Kurudi hapa msichana wake ile anaitwa Hester, kaniambia wewe umekaa siku nyingi utakuwa taxed 2000. Nikawa ni ukweli. Sasa niulize kama hiyo maisha ndio tunaishi ama ni sheria gani inasema mtoto akiwa mgonjwa akatwe pesa? Hiyo maneno mwaangalie na serikali ya muliki.
I've been working here for 4 years, you see, and my NSSF and NHIF, they've been deducting it monthly, but it does not reflect in my account.
Advocate Lempasu Yinka says if indeed the allegations against the management of the restaurant are true, then it is a violation of the Constitution.
Our Constitution is very clear. We have Article 10 on the national values, on human dignity. Secondly, we have Article 20 that binds all people, including private entities, to respect and uphold and promote human rights. Secondly, we have Article 27 on non-discrimination.
He adds that such a restaurant should not be allowed to operate.
The state, which is obliged to uphold the rights of all people, should at the minimum cancel the license of these people if it is true, because if they don't, they'll be acquiescing themselves with this discrimination.
The owner has been ordered to appear at the Milimani Law Courts on Thursday at 9 a.m. over accusation that the restaurant is not licensed. Salim Bilu, Monday Special.